Fucking happy Thanksgiving, freaking omnicidal Bill Gates chemtrails raining down on everybody. Aluminum, barium, strontium. At the very least, it's ugly in the sky, but the aluminum causes heavy metal toxicity, and people need to cleanse using blueberries and cilantro in their diet on a regular basis. Otherwise, they face mercury amalgam. Mercury, not just mercury amalgam fillings are also toxic, but aluminum is what's coming down. One of the things that's toxic that's coming down in the chemtrails, according to Dane Wigington at geoengineeringwatch.org. And he has tested it, and so have other scientists verified that, yes, aluminum is raining down on everybody, killing the microbiome in the soil, drying out the trees, drying out people's kidneys. It's an attack against life itself from many people's perspective and needs to be stopped immediately. Not to mention the concerns about graphene and nanoparticulates somehow being carriers for biowarfare agents, potentially, that's speculation, and or mind control nanoparticulates that everybody breathes in, they get into their body, they self-assemble, and then there's a potential link to the targeted individuals community. Another perspective is the aluminum in and of itself crosses the blood-brain barrier, builds up on the synapses, slows down brain function, and when a person has heavy metal toxicity, I know because I've had it, not only brain fog is possible, but electromagnetic frequencies make it even worse because there's metal in the brain and the aluminum is conductive, and it's a pain in the head, and that slows down reaction time, slows down brain function, it's the literal dumbing down of America or the world, and leads to autism in children because the heavy metal toxicity can be passed on to the children through the mother's toxicity, as well as causes autism, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, mental illness, autoimmune disorders, etc. And all of those things could be avoided if Bill Gates was arrested and the geoengineering program was shut down. At least in regards to the aluminum exposure from the solar radiation management. In regards to other heavy metal toxicity, the dental board needs to be pushed to outlaw mercury amalgam fillings, and they know it's toxic, but they have said it's not illegal. Aren't they the ones that should make it illegal? Or the government, or the dentists? And the problem with the dentists who have realized mercury amalgam fillings are very toxic, those dentists are usually outside of network. So Medicaid will pay to put mercury amalgam fillings to fill cavities for low-income school kids. They will pay to put that mercury toxic filling in a person's mouth, but they won't pay to remove it properly. So in order to remove it properly, you have to go to an IAOMT certified dentist, and they're typically not within network. So of course, expensive, and people can't afford that. I found a dentist in South Carolina who removed all 4 of my mercury amalgam fillings for approximately $6,000. Yeah, they ripped me off, but I could not get a dentist in North Carolina to do it. And now, finally, I found one that it costs, Dr. Anders in Black Mountain, it costs about $100 to remove the mercury amalgam fillings, and then about $536 to fill them with non-toxic porcelain per tooth. So one tooth is, upwards of $700, but it's better than $1,000 per tooth. And I have long since gotten my mercury amalgam fillings removed, which is how I know about heavy metal toxicity, as well as I was diagnosed mentally ill when I was young, because after the dentist put mercury amalgam fillings in my mouth, it caused mental health symptoms, and that is the issue. But once removed and cleansed, the problem is, of course, the chemtrails and other sources of heavy metals lead back to mental health disorders, lead back to cloudy mind, forgetfulness, slow reaction time, in the long term, death, in the medium term, autoimmune disorders, Parkinson's. It is the root cause of Parkinson's. It is heavy metal toxicity is the root cause of Parkinson's. Why do I know that? Because the first detection of a Parkinson's-like illness was in ancient India, where they used mercury for many things. And mercury is a useful element, so are aluminum, but not to be sprayed into the air so everybody breathes it in so it gets into the groundwater, not to be put in the vaccines as an aluminum adjuvant. That goes right to the brain, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and builds up on the synapses, slowing brain function and eventually calcifying. People that have died and have had autopsies done, they've opened up their brains and they're all covered with, aluminum. And it's like, oh, they died of old age. No, they didn't. All of that, pretty much just across the board. Most of the people that have died, most of the people that have Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, mental, there are other things that aggravate it and lead to it. And there's all kinds of lawsuits against, Monsanto and stuff like that. I don't mind the lawsuits against Monsanto. I don't know that is the root cause of Parkinson's. I do know that they may affect it, but I do know that the heavy metal toxicity is a huge problem across the world, and the people like Bill Gates who are all for it need to be arrested, honestly. I am definitely for arresting Bill Gates immediately, stopping the geoengineering program, bringing him before a tribunal, disclosing all the information to the public, and stopping it. There's no other choice. It's destroying life on Earth, according to Dane Wigington. And of course, life exists, but the point is preventative medicine. If somebody doesn't complain, hey, they're killing the planet, well, it's too late after the fact. Oh, there's a murder. Now the police can go to work. Not if the whole planet's gone. Oh, there's a murder. You should have preventative measures. Preventative measures so murder doesn't happen. That's why I'm vegan. That's why I don't carry a gun. Happy Thanksgiving.